In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up a sole proprietorship. No jargon, no BS, just straight getting into it. And step by step, this tutorial will show you how to set it up from start to finish, no matter what place you're located in, whether it's a different country or whether it's a different state, and specific regulations that apply in each. Ideally, you're just going to want to avoid all of the pitfalls that we'll go over in this video and just follow the simple process of starting your sole proprietorship. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so right off the bat here, what exactly is a sole proprietorship? Well, to put it as simply as I possibly can put it, the second that you start working for yourself, where you're making money, that you're not employed at a job, that means you are a sole proprietor. You are someone who just at the default is making money not from a job, whether you're flipping couches, whether you have an online store, no matter what it is, if you are at the default making money from something other than a job that you're employed at, where the employer is taking the money out of your accounts and paychecks to pay taxes on your behalf for, and you're going to be getting a specific form at the end of the year for taxes, you are a sole proprietor. Congratulations. But what does it actually mean to be a sole proprietor, and what are the things that you need to actually do to make sure that you're in compliance with your state law or your federal law? The biggest difference between being a sole proprietor and something like an LLC is liability. Personal liability. With the sole proprietorship, it is just you. There is no company and there is no you as an individual. You and the company are one and the same. You may be doing business under a different name, but at the end of the day, it is just you, and you are fully liable for absolutely everything. But with that being said, it does make it easier to do a lot of things, and you don't have to put as much upfront effort in to actually get the business off the ground. So if we look at this here, we can see that the key takeaways are a sole proprietor is an unincorporated, very key, very important, unincorporated business with only one owner who pays personal income tax on profits earned. Now, this is one of the biggest things of being a sole proprietor, is the difference in the way you pay taxes, the way you conduct business. It's completely different from it being a completely separate legal entity. Because the business is you and only you, you pay personal income tax on whatever you do, even if it was done under a different business name. That is just the structure of a sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorships, though, are really easy to establish, and they're typically popular with business owners and contractors. These are things like plumbers, carpenters, other people who may be working completely for themselves and not be working a specific job. They would be considered sole proprietors because at the end of the year, their personal income tax and all the profits made that year go one and the same. With all that considered, though, it is relatively easy to transition to a limited liability company later down the line if the cause dictates. So to officially get started, the first thing that you're going to want to do is actually officially register your business. And by register your business, I'm just saying tell the government that you have a business and that you are conducting business as a sole proprietor. Some states require that individuals apply for business or occupancy licenses, either in your state or in your city or wherever you happen to be conducting business, even if it is virtually. Another important thing to note here is that you might want to actually file something called doing business as, because if you are a sole proprietor, if I am, say, Josh, and I am legally going under my own name, well, there wouldn't be anything I'd have to file because myself and my business are one and the same. But let's say I have a new catchy name like Josh's Super Software or something like that, where it's not my name doing the business, it's the actual business name. But it's still a sole proprietorship because it's just me. Well, in that case, I may be obligated to file something called doing business as, so that in fact it is just me and only me, but I am doing business as a separate name, so the government has to be aware of that, especially to avoid confusion when it comes to things like paying taxes and the actual legal structure of your business. And again, depending on how complex your business is, you may not have to apply for what's called the Employer Identification Number, or EIN, but I highly recommend it even if you are just conducting business as a sole proprietorship. Now, this is typically used when you're filing tax returns, but some sole proprietors can use their own social security number when they're actually filing. I'll give you an example. When I was doing business for a videography company several years ago, just under myself, it was me, it was only me, I was a sole proprietor, but I was doing business under a separate name. I still applied for all of this to make sure I have a separate bank account and all that information. When that business shut down and I began just working as my own name again, well, suddenly I'm not having to use the EIN anymore because I'm not conducting business under a different name. I'm not hiring employees. It's just me. It's a lot more of a simplified business structure. So it depends on what type of services that you are actually providing, because to legally speaking, have the correct tax filing, you need to make sure that you are going to be filing, whether it is under an EIN or yourself, properly. And this is part of the reason why service-based businesses are typically the most popular for sole proprietors, is because the second that you start actually selling taxable products, the business must register for a sales tax license with their state. So it gets a little bit more complicated. So sole proprietorships are most common with people just conducting business as themselves and just offering their services. As you can see here, the biggest difference between a sole proprietorship, an LLC, and a partnership is that sole proprietorships are easy to establish, and they generally don't require paperwork unless required by your state. Again, that depends state to state. And if you choose to apply for an EIN, that will make it easier to get things like separate business bank accounts, etc., for your specific business needs. The business name for a sole proprietorship can operate under the owner's name or under the fictitious name that you choose. There is no legal protection, meaning that the company is you. So if the company, even if it has a different name, gets sued, you are personally getting sued. Your assets and the business's assets are one and the same. When it comes to taxation, the biggest thing for it is that it's filed under the owner's personal taxes if there's no EIN. You can still choose to file your taxes under that EIN, and even if it is a sole proprietorship, it would still be filed all the same, but it is entirely dependent on the structure of your business specifically. So what are the pros and cons here? Well, to put it simply, the pros are you don't actually need to obtain an EIN from the IRS, meaning that as long as you're filing your personal income taxes, it doesn't matter that you've actually, operated as a business or operated as an employee. As long as you're filing your taxes properly, you don't necessarily need to actually have an EIN. The other pro is that it's quick and easy setup compared with other business structures. You have to check to make sure that there is anything that's required by your state and make sure you get those done. But other than that, you can just start conducting business as yourself wherever you go. And typically in service-based businesses, that's very easy to set up and do. It also makes it much easier at tax time when you have pass-through tax advantage to actually file your taxes because, again, you're filing as yourself. The biggest cons here, of course, though, are personal assets are not separated from business assets. You get sued the same as your business. You're one and the same, legally speaking. There is going to be difficulty in raising capital because people are investing in you personally, which is a lot different from a LLC where they're investing in that business. Now that you and the business are tied together, if they have confidence in the business, but they don't have confidence in you, it doesn't really matter because you are one and the same, legally speaking. So if you go down, the whole ship goes down, if that makes sense. And in addition to that, the owners assume all debt and tax liability. One of the great tools that you can use online to actually get set up with all the processes that I just talked about, if you want to get started with those, but don't know all the information about your particular state, is a tool called Tailor Brands. It's an easy way that you can get all the information required for your specific sole proprietorship setup and LLC setup. As we can see here, they typically start with forming an LLC as a separate, complete business entity, but they still offer a ton of services that are very useful to people starting their own sole proprietorships. If we go into the services tab here, we can see that you can get things like your EIN, licenses and permits, sales tax permits, business insurance, business banking, logo makers, domains, websites, and business emails. These are all things that are highly relevant to sole proprietors. Things like your business insurance. Even though you're conducting business as yourself, you still potentially want to get business insurance. Although you may be having your own personal bank account, you might still want to get a specific business bank account. And once again, depending on your specific state or city, you might actually have to file a business license or for a particular permit in your industry. Again, it just depends entirely on your business. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like to use Tailor Brands to get something like a business license, just to give you an idea of the sort of tools that this actually offers to make it super easy for you to get started. So we're going to be using the actual same LLC that I set up with the Josh hot dog stand in the LLC video, but don't worry, this works just the same for sole proprietorships. It just may not be required depending on if you do have a sole proprietorship that is in a specific industry that may not require things like an EIN or a business license in your particular state. So I'm just going to hit find out what you need here, and we're going to see exactly what it is. So again, we just type in our business details, Josh hot dog stand. We put in our entity type, so we could type here sole proprietorship. We could say what state we're operating in. We'll say California, and then we'll give a particular postal code. The next thing we do here is actually confirm our business industry. In our case, if we have a hot dog stand and it's just us, there is no separate business entity. The Josh hot dog stand and Josh are one and the same because it's a sole proprietorship, but I'm still in the business of selling food. So there might be specific licenses or business licenses that are required to actually operate. So I could say food vendor here, and we'll say next. So in my case here where it says, does your business also engage in any of the following? Selling alcoholic beverages. If it does, well, then Tailor Brands knows that there may be specific licenses that are required in my state. I don't actually intend to sell alcoholic beverages here, so we're just going to leave that unchecked and hit next. And we're going to see here exactly what we get. So there are 3 licenses and permits required, 3 state and 0 federal. So again, as we talked about, although there are 0 federal licenses required to actually set up a sole proprietorship in the specific state of California, there are 3 state licenses that are required. So as we can see here, without them, the business will face serious fines, penalties, or even forced closure. Something that I wouldn't typically think about if I just thought, well, I'm just operating under myself, so I'm a sole proprietor. There are licenses that still need to be taken care of depending on what type of business and service you're offering. But this is just one example where I could get a license guidance report for $99 that tells me exactly what licenses I need to get. All the research is done for me, DIY filing, or if I do the crazy advanced version for $1,000, that is all done for me. In this case, I'm just going to leave it for now. Here's another example of what you could use Tailor Brands for in actually setting up your sole proprietorship. A great thing that I highly recommend for anyone having their own sole proprietorship is to have a separate bank account. Things can get really messy, especially if the business is having one bank account that has all of your personal transactions and all of the business's transactions in one. If you have two separate accounts, it makes it much easier for you to, first of all, keep track of everything, and second of all, at tax time, make sure that even if you are audited, you have everything squeaky clean. Tailor Brands makes it really easy to actually set up your business's bank account, and of course you must get an EIN first. So if you don't have that taken care of already, Tailor Brands, depending on your specific state, can make it super easy to get your EIN and then get your business bank account set up automatically for you. The entire process is obviously something that you could do on your own, but the idea here is that the convenience of having it all done in one site is what makes this so appealing. Instead of having to do all the research yourself and go through all of the steps, Tailor Brand takes care of 99% of the work for you, so you just have to fill in the information, get it done, and get your sole proprietorship off the ground. This also helps in the next step where you actually have to take care of your finances, tracking your income, tracking your expenses, tracking things that you're going to write off, because making sure that your business is operating effectively is great, but especially when you're a sole proprietor, making sure that you're filing your taxes correctly at the end of the year and can avoid an audit if possible while not breaking any laws is ideal for what you want. For example, if you as a sole proprietor decide that, hey, you know what, I needed food to conduct my business, so I'm going to write off all of my grocery bills the entire year. Well, that might not be allowed, and it's very important to actually know exactly what you can write off for each specific category. With Tailor Brands, this is one of the easy things that is set up for you automatically, and it makes the invoice and bookkeeping process a lot simpler when it comes to actually filing your taxes at the end of the year. Everything's squared away and in the correct order, and ultimately, as a sole proprietor, you are taking on 100% of the profits, but you're also taking on 100% of the liability. So having a tool in place that actually takes care of the tracking and management for you so that tax time is super easy, so you can just make money, conduct your business, and do whatever you're doing is going to be the best option for pretty much anyone starting that sole proprietorship process. I know I used a ton of different tools when I was first starting out, and a lot of them worked for me, some of them didn't, and most of the ones that I ended up using, I ended up canceling after a couple of years anyway, because there was just a simpler and easier way like this to actually have everything in one central location instead of having to have like 8 different pieces of software that really didn't make it easy for me to manage everything and made it actually more confusing at tax time. At this point in the sole proprietor process, you should have your EIN, your business bank account, your business insurance, and all other relevant licenses that are required for you to actually operate in whatever state you're in. So now comes the fun part, actually doing things like making logos, making a website, getting a domain, putting your business out there, whatever it might be. Maybe you're a plumber, maybe you're a hot dog vendor. It doesn't matter. Making sure that you have a nice brandable image that people can come to is something that is obviously very important for the sole proprietor process, and not so in the legal sense, but more so in the actual making money sense, which is the purpose of many people starting a business. So if I wanted to create a logo using Tailor Brands, I could just say the Josh hot dog stand, goodbye hunger as my tagline, and then I could hit get started here, and it'll tell me what am I offering. And I could say, well, I'm doing technology or software or services, and I can say selling hot dogs. It'll ask me for my industry, and I'll say food truck, selling hot dogs. Hit next here, and I can choose the logo type, icon-based, name-based, or initial-based. We'll do icon-based, and we can choose a geometric shape or search for an icon. And we could say hot dog, give it a search here. Let's see, oh, there we go. And then we can pick one. Oh, I like this one. And this one, I like the ones with colors and that view from the side here. Let's say next, the styles we want. We could do brush and bolder and taller. And then we can actually get our logo created for us. Because this is part of the process of actually starting a sole proprietorship, especially if you're going to be doing business under a different name, is actually making a nice logo that people want to actually pay you for. And there we go. The Josh hot dog. Goodbye, hunger. Or I've got, ooh, nope. Way too bad. The Josh hot dog stand. Goodbye, hunger. And we can go through here. And I like this. I like this one, honestly. The Josh Hot Dog Stand. And we can see our branding here, what it looks like on a logo, the digital business card, the branded website. All of it's taken care of for us. And we can say, love it. We can say, I'm finished. And great, we've got our logo created for us now. So at this point, we've pretty much got the entirety of the sole proprietorship set up. We have a super cool logo. Next thing to do is actually get a website and domain. And then of course we have, at this point, all of our business licenses set up. We have our business insurance, we have our EIN, and we have our bank account. So it should be pretty easy to just begin conducting business as ourself. So at this point, go out there and actually sell some hot dogs, in my case, or do whatever service that you intend to do. If there's any more things, let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see. And as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Josh Mountain, and I'll see you in the next one.